Hi everybody, so this is the monthly reading for all Sagittariuses for the month of June 2017. I almost said 2016. Again, I got another hat on. I'm a Sag Mercury. Prefer wearing hats. It controls the hair. Also, I was down at the beach today. Ooh, it was pretty nice. I live in BC, so I'm fairly lucky. The west coast here, we got the mountains and we got the ocean. So it's one of the few places in the world that you can actually go skiing and surfing in the same day. We haven't done that. It is on my to-do list. I can't surf, but I did want to try paddleboarding, but you know, everybody was being a Debbie Downer and they didn't want to do it because they didn't want to look like idiots. And it's the wonderful thing about a Sag is we're not afraid to look like idiots, you know, and it's not even look like idiots, it's an experience. We're there to experience, right? So I'm going to be sure to, I got a girlfriend that I actually called up to see if she wants to try paddleboarding, and she's Scorpio. Scorpios are usually down to try things. They don't really have limits, so, all right, that card popped out. Okay. So let's get into it here. So we're going to try to cover your, my hair's all like messy from the ocean, so don't mind it. I just put the hat on to tame it. So we're going to try to cover your relationships, your work, and home. Everything kind of intertwines with each other, so keep that in mind. Relationships come in all forms. They come in with partnerships. Partnerships are co-workers, bosses, spouses, children, family members. So we'll try to get into all of that. So for the first card we have, Sages, is the Nine of Swords. I'm just gonna pull all the cards here, and then when you hear me get silent, it's because I tune into energy, so the cards are tools for me to just like kind of hold, and that way I can tune into an actual energy, so the messages will vary. The cards are just like, it's just for me to hone into, so I don't get the same messages from the same card. It depends on the energy that's coming through, so there might be pauses is basically what I'm saying. But for the next card we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Hierophant coming in. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Three of Chalices. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Have you seen these cards? I got them because they kind of remind me of, I'm such a nerd. I got them because they remind me of Merlin. It's kind of like Merlin, King Arthur-ish. Big fan of Merlin, yeah. And they kind of remind me of like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Or it's total nerd, whatever, I don't care. I got that Aquarius in me too, so like, I've always said that Leos are like King Arthur, and being their opposite is Aquarius, and Aquarius is like Merlin, right? Like King Arthur didn't exist without Merlin. I mean, I think that's one of like the most tumultuous partner signs is Aquarius and Leo. Like I got a Leo moon, and with my sister, because of my Aquarius Mars and Venus, she's a Leo sun, my Aquarius comes out with her, and like my Leo completely leaves, where and we can have a hard time sometimes with each other, where so the next card we have is the Empress coming in. We have the Three of Swords. Just the cards here. And we have the Devil coming in. You guys, it's like the same reading over and over again with you guys, where let's see, it's Saturn, you know, this is Saturn, so I mean, it's just, you know, Sages were repressed, you know. Okay, so sorry, got ashes falling down from the incense. So for what we have coming in here for your relationships is your mother has some sort of importance for some of you guys, Sages. Also, this is with the we have the Ace of Wands, the Empress. I'll show you guys. The lighting's bad. The Empress. We have the Three of Chalices here. And with the Hierophant, that to me is saying pregnancy. So for some of you Sagittarius that don't want to get pregnant, then you might want to watch that because there is a very strong fertile energy coming through with the cards. Ace of Wands kind of represents the private parts, you know what I mean? With the Empress, that's becoming a mother. For some of you guys, you could have announced this, which congratulations if that's the fact, if some of you guys got pregnant. For others of you, this is like a new business partnership. It could be because it is relationships. It's based on partnerships. You have some anxiety, it seems. And for some of you guys with children, it could be your children are causing some sort of worry and concern. Let's see what I pick up with the Nine of Swords. This card there. Show it again for you guys. You might need help in your relationships. So you might need to be, for some of you guys in marriages, you might need to be getting a third party's interest, opinion, but not a third party that has anything to do with your family members or anybody that you know, like an outside influence, because they have no attachment to an outcome, right? Their only attachment to the outcome is the benefit for you and the higher good for yourself. So they'll give you legit information. For some of you guys, your relationships with your children, you need to be spending more time with them. It's definitely coming through here. Your kids may be acting out because you're working too much. It's what I'm getting. You're working on a creation too much, and your children might be acting out. Your mother definitely has some importance, or motherhood has some sort of importance here. What we have for work, we have the Eight of Swords sitting beside the Hierophant. So for some of you guys, you might be in an establishment. Those of you doing public speaking, or in the public eye is what I'm getting. Okay, well, I just got a few there. Okay, for one person, and this person has strong Capricorn in the chart, the message I'm getting for you at work is, and you have your own business, and you would be in the public eye, but you have a Capricorn moon is what I'm getting. You got a Capricorn moon. If you see in the Three of Swords, we got a moon there. The horn, Capricorn moon I'm getting. Your Sag sun. The message that's coming through, and try to filter it. With the Three of Swords, that is, you verbally communicated something, and what they want you to realize is, and whoever you believe is they, the universe, spirits, higher being. I go by universe, right? Because the universe is like abundant. It's like it has all of it involved. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's like the Swiss Army knife, where you vocally said something out. Like, I'm not sure what it's referring to, but what it's saying is that whatever you were claiming, and it's saying claiming, about this person, whoever this Empress is, so she would have her own business because she's an Empress. Whatever you were claiming, and you with the Three of Swords here, you said some messages about that woman. I don't know what it's referring to. And with the Devil here, it's saying that you're calling the kettle black, right? So in other words, I'm trying to like filter what I'm getting energy-wise, because like, I'm gonna be honest, some of it is not like what I see, and what I hear is not, it's not it wouldn't be the politest way of saying it, but what it's saying is that, okay, so the best way I can say this is sometimes there's projection that happens. And what we claim that another person is doing, we're actually doing, and we speak it out loud. This is swords, it's verbal. We speak it out loud to try to justify our own actions. So whatever you're doing, you're trying to justify your own actions, but you verbally, this is verbally against this Empress, you claimed something or said that she was doing something, or I don't know, something about her creation or her business or something is what's coming through. You verbally expressed something against her, but whatever you verbally expressed, you're really guilty of, is what it's saying with the devil here. And it would have to do with work. We have the Hermit, so that's to do with your work. And they want you to know this because they really want you to examine. It's like last month's reading was that, like, the warning came through that there was going to be something that if you didn't consider the consequences or like tame the inner beast, then you were gonna, it said that like basically you were gonna have to sit there and think about it. And that's what the cards are saying for some of you guys. For others of you, this is all like verbally, you might have said something to somebody, but I'm getting that it was necessary in that case. It was necessary. These energies might be coming through for you now, though. For some of you guys, it might be necessary. And I'm getting at home for, well, the thing about being a Sag is, and if you're watching for a Sag, you need to understand this. A Sag does not like putting a person in the corner or on the spot. If a Sag has done that, it's because you've kind of asked for it. You've pushed them to the point where they can't hold back anymore, and whatever the circumstances is toxic, and it's preventing them from moving forward. So a Sag, when you try to stop a Sag will verbally express whatever the issue is or the problem is, because you can't stop a Sag. Like, you can't keep them stuck, right? Like, so in your family, there might be somebody who's really stuck. The devil here I'm getting, and this is coming through for your family. With the Knight of Pentacles here, it could be a father figure or even yourself. So this could be happening to you or to somebody around you, right? They have an addiction or something like that, and Sag, it's time to a person's going to either call you out on it, or it's time to call the other person out on it. The behavior is becoming toxic and it's harmful, so it needs to stop. Whatever it is, it does need to stop. At work, well, at work there's going to be some conflict. There's also a chance of possibly hearing bad news. That's coming in from the universe. The bad news is going to come in from the universe. There's nothing you can do about it. It could be that you get good news, and then there's people around you that are quite jealous, or they're trying to prevent you from moving forward, is what I'm getting also. The Three of Chalices, and you have the Three of Swords. At work, there's going to be some sort of celebration and a relief from a burden that you have. You guys are really mentally exhausted at work. It's for some of you, the energy that's coming in that's going to help you is this Three of Swords. So it's going to be some sort of hurtful communication. It's going to be some sort of cut to something that needs to stop, where emotional manipulation can also be happening at work too. I'm getting that as well. What you need to do at home is, we got the Knight of Pentacles, and he's slow moving, he's methodical, but when this guy makes a decision, it's done correctly. So if you're going to verbally have to speak about whatever this addiction is that's happening in your home, you have to put a stop to it this month. It's going to come in, it's going to like push you to the limit, and you're going to have to contemplate, really contemplate on how you're going to handle this. Okay, because you might, Sagittarius, necessarily we don't handle it right the first time. As a fire sign, we always feel guilty about having to be pushed to that limit, always, and we always reflect and we always learn how to do it better the next time. So I want you to think about a situation that similarly occurred and try to think about how it didn't work out, how you communicated, and then try to just make small adjustments to that at home. You got to be methodical about the way you approach this though. So and you might have to really so you might have to really open up emotionally and explain why this is harming you. So if you have a person who say is an alcoholic in your family, you need to make them aware that maybe it's not only you that you're harming us as well, because it does hurt a person to be a standby and watch you, like, another person destroy their lives, you know, like what's going to help you at work, like what you need to do is you need to ignore everybody around you. You need to be focused on you. Don't get involved in whatever this is, this Three of Swords is. If that's the energy that's going to come in, it's going to tempt you as well with the Devil here. You need to be the Empress and stand back and observe. The Empress observes. She does not make a decision without being methodical and making all considerations. And this is, it's something that's going to spark real fast. And she's wise, so she's not going to react to it. You know what I mean? So there needs to be a delay reaction here, is what I'm getting. Work, home, and relationships. Some of you guys in relationships, you could be getting offers. You really need to be methodical about these offers. You're definitely going to be worried in your relationships. Partnerships people might be looking at you or as quite abundant. So Sagittarius are quite concerned about their stability right now, is what I'm getting. You're more focused on your stability, and like with the Empress here is taking care of what you have already. You need to focus on that. If you're getting a lot of messages, try to like just you guys need to be methodical and slow down. Like even on your creations with the Three of Cups here in the Empress, there's a chance here in the Ace of Wands, you guys are moving way too quickly and you're still, again, not considering all the consequences. And we don't have, like, this is a helpful person who's going to come in and help you and guide you. Like, this guy's methodical, right? Like, at home, though, you got to be careful about the way you handle things. Like, you really got to get, you might have to be, like, it's going to happen where Sagittarius are going to have to be blunt this month. It's going to happen. So you guys need to, you know what it is? It's like Sagittarius. I was watching that movie, Trolls. I don't know if you guys seen that cartoon movie, Trolls. And Sagittarius are very, very much like that main character, Poppy. And with Saturn in our sign, it's like suck the living life out of us. You know what I mean? Like, and the main character that plays beside Poppy, I forget what his name is. That little troll. He like, that's totally a Sag with a Capricorn moon. It's totally a Sag with a Capricorn moon or a Cancer moon. Oh, poor suckers. But if it's like you feel restricted. is what I'm getting. Like, it's like, you know how Poppy, like in that, if you've seen that movie, she never gives up, and she's singing that song, and then she finally gets caught in that spider web, and she's still singing like, don't give up, don't give up. And you guys are in that web where it's like you're tired of people just being so negative and draining, and like you might need to remove yourself from those situations and just not play into it. Like, I think Sagittarius, you're going to be like, Saturn's testing you where, have you learned your lessons yet? Stand back, observe, don't get involved. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, there is boundaries. Saturn's putting boundaries in place. So at the same time, you need to consider, when is it that I have to vocally speak up? Because there is a time when you're going to have to vocally speak up. And with the devil here, this month, enough is enough. It's going to come into place where enough is enough. You know, like, okay, so what not to do in your relationships is you cannot just sit back and observe anymore, like we were talking about earlier. It's not a time to sit back and observe. It's a time to really take action. You know, like with the Empress here, you need to nurture and mother your relationships. You know, so like I was saying, if you have to vocally speak up, and if somebody has an addiction, or if somebody's speaking up to you, they're doing it out of the nurturing aspect of themselves, right? Like the mother, enough is enough. You know, if you've done something wrong, then you need to be punished for it. That there's a sense here that punishment is going to happen. I don't really know what it's referring to. You know, like for some of you guys, this is like at work. Some of you guys, I mean, like, this month, I really want you to focus on healthy boundaries, learning. And I mean, if you vocally speak up and it comes out too harsh, or it's said too harsh, that was a learning experience. Don't get hard on yourselves about it. But to try to prevent it, I want you, in any situation that has to occur with your relationships, your work, or your family, I want you to think back to a similar time where something like this happened and what was the consequences. And then try to key into that, and then make small adjustments, because you're obviously in a similar situation. You already have the experience behind you, and you should be able to sit there and methodically plan however you're going to move forward, because you're going to be pushed forward this month, right? You're going to have to separate yourself from something this month. You're going to have to change your mindset this month as well. Okay, so what not to do at work is we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is, again, at work, you can't be so focused on the financial aspect of it. You need to be more focused on the emotional part of it. If you're only focused on finances, you're going to be creating heartbreak, is what it's saying. You're going to be creating separations. You're going to be creating problems, it seems like. And the idea is, as human beings, we're here to create solutions, not problems, right? We want solutions, not problems. So it's at work, seeing the negative and turning it into a positive. So instead of everybody complaining about one negative thing, flip it around on them and try to show them the positive side of it. You know what I mean? Be a Sag. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Flip the coin for everybody. I know we're drained and we're tired of trying to make people see that there's another way. There's always another way, but it's asking you not to give up on that, not to be harsh and blunt, and really come from your compassion and empathy is needed towards yourself as well, right? Like speaking up vocally, creating a boundary that's showing compassion towards yourself, and that's very necessary this month. That's what it's saying. Okay, and what not to do at home, we have the Fool card here, and if you see the fox is quite tricky, right? So if there's tricks and stuff like happening at home, we need to start verbally expressing that and putting a stop to it. This is also saying that at home you can't be using trickery, or with the fox here, it's avoidance too. You can't be avoiding the problems at home anymore. It's what it's saying. Some of you guys might have an opportunity to travel this month as well. You might be taking a little holiday time off, and that could be really good for you and beneficial. In your relationships, you can't be stepping back anymore in your relationships, and whatever like I said, siblings, your sister, your brother, you might having to be some of them could be quite With the Three of Cups here, this is surroundings, like people around you, and they could be quite jealous of what's happening with you, okay? And in that sense, you need to understand that they're hurt, right? There's disappointment in themselves. It's not necessarily to do with you being successful. In some cases it is, you know what I mean? The person's just spiteful. But in cases where you start to grow and adapt and expand, other people see it and they haven't done the work on themselves. So they start to punish themselves, and it comes out as a lashing out on you, like them trying to make you feel bad and suppressed and down, because they're trying to put what they're feeling out on you, right? And get you to mirror it back to them. So just be aware of that and show those people compassion. Don't try to understand that they're hurting is why they're doing that, right? And it's about them. So try to get them outside of their comfort zones and push them towards positivity. You know what I mean? Try to explain to them, well, yeah, I was scared and I just, took the leap and I did it. Like try to, like, if they're trying to say things that when you've said something positive about, like, oh, I just expanded, got this new job, and then they're like, oh, well, like, I'm glad you finally found a job. You know what I mean? Like, instead of them being positive, they're trying to make you think that, oh, well, like, you've been lazy. They're not happy with their job is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Them saying something like that is because they're not happy with their job. So you need to be showing them empathy and compassion instead of being sharp, Again, be methodical with the way you're approaching things. All right, you guys, I really hope that helped you out this month, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao for now.